Who are you who is swearing?
I, Jacob Mafume.
Thank you. I'll ask you to raise your voice so that we could all hear what is happening. Yeah, and at the same time, this is not a political rally, it's not a political meeting, it's not a mayoral meeting, it is a commission of inquiry in terms of the Inquiry Act. Therefore, ZESA, you are not under arrest, not under scrutiny of any sort, but all we want to get from you is the truth and nothing else but the truth. You may sit down, please.
Thank you very much.
Face of our board is 9 Sky Master Belvedere, Harare.
You are the mayor for the city of Harare.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming to assist this commission. You have been called to assist the commission of inquiry, which was set up to inquire into governance issue in respect of the seat of Harare. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Before we go any further, kindly tell this honorable court your qualifications.
My qualifications, I'm a lawyer. My degree is an LLBS, obtained at the University of Zimbabwe. I'm also registered with the High Court of Zimbabwe as a legal practitioner, notary public, and conveyancer. Those are my qualifications.
Okay. When did you attain your qualification?
I became a lawyer in 2000, or I qualified in 2000.
You are quite an experienced lawyer as of now. Have you been into private practice?
Yes, I've been in private practice. I started off at Carter and Timmerman. I then went into the NGO sector, Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights, Crisis Coalitions. I then moved into the international sector. I worked for USID, the US Embassy, as a democracy and governance advisor. I then worked in Uganda for a year. Then I worked in the Prime Minister's office as a principal director, constitutional and legal affairs. Then I joined council and opened a private practice which goes under my name, Mafumo Law Chambers.
Okay. Thank you so much. You are quite an experienced lawyer, and as such, based the way of ground rules, we expect you to be truthful, to be candid, and to answer questions as put to you, and also where you are not required to proffer some explanations, please do not do so, and where you are required to do so, you will be requested to do so.
Thank you.
Yes. When did you assume the role of the mayor of the city of Harare?
I assumed the role of the mayor I entered into council in 2018 as a councillor. I first was the chairperson of the Human Resources Committee. Then when the mayor was recalled, I became the mayor in 2020. Then I left in 2023. I came back as an ordinary councillor. Then I became a mayor again in 2024.
So you are
hold on. When did you become your mayoral office? What year?
2020. The first stint was 2020 to 2023.
Okay, fine.
The second stint, the current stint, is 2024 to date.
Okay. You are well versed with the operations of the city of Harare, therefore.
I would want to think so.
Thank you.
I am.
Confirm that you are a ceremonial, you occupy a ceremonial position as opposed to an executive position.
Yes, I occupy the mayoral position. There is no, in my reading of the Urban Councils Act and my reading of all the statutes of Act, there is no way where the word ceremonial appears. However, it is common parlance to say that the mayors in Zimbabwe are ceremonial, but I have not seen it anywhere in legislation or in terms of reference. In actual fact, I sign a performance contract before the president every year, where there are certain duties that we have to perform, and there are duties that I have to perform that are contained in the Urban Councils Act.
No, okay. Do you regard yourself as a ceremonial mayor or an executive mayor, irrespective of the absence of expressed definition of your position?
Yeah, I would regard myself as ceremonial. Well, in line with the common, the anecdotal references. But I soon found out that I have duties that are assigned to me in terms of the Act, and I have a performance contract that has indicators that I am measured upon from central government in line with the new policy thrust of government. Probably the laws have not been aligned to reflect what happens in practice.
So, coming to that. So you confirm that you do not have executive authority. Executive functions are performed by the town clerk.
Yes, the executive functions are performed by the town clerk, who is the accounting officer.
You only give policy directions
We only give
and guidance.
We only give policy, directions, and guidance, and execute any other issues assigned by the relevant legislation.
Confirm that you are not supposed to interfere with the day-to-day running of the city of Harare, as that is within the mandate of the town clerk.
Yes, the day-to-day runnings are under the purview of the town clerk.
Okay, thank you. Now, we have so many issues for you, Your Worship.
Thank you.
So many issues which can even push mountains. So, let us start with the general state of affairs of the city of Harare. Are you happy about the general state of affairs in terms of environmental issues?
No, I'm not happy.
Indeed, I had a drive yesterday. I knew you would come. I had a drive from Harare, ZINARA, Mudiro, Kowazana, Kambuzuma, yesterday. What I noticed is that at every corner in each street, there is illegal dumping of solid waste. You confirm that position?
Yes, I confirm.
Solid waste is not being collected. Or if it ever it has been collected, that is being done in a haphazard manner. It is that not correct?
Yes, it is not being collected as adequately and consistently as it ought to be. There is collection that happens on a day-to-day basis, but otherwise the situation will be far much worse than what you describe. But it is not adequate.
Do you admit that since we are in the midst of the rainy season, that is a great danger to us, the ratepayers?
It is a great danger for diseases and other, even from the aesthetics point of view, just the ambience of the city. It ought not to be like that.
That goes as well with liquid waste management. We have best pipes all over. Those pipes are not being attended to, not being repaired. You confirm?
They are being attended to, not as adequately as they ought to be. You must appreciate that the infrastructure is old. We inherited infrastructure that uses old technology for the piping, and they've not been replaced. And because of the increase of the population, our infrastructure was designed for 500,000 people. It's now catering for 2 million or close to 2 million people, and therefore the infrastructure is overwhelmed. But our departments are doing the best they can in the circumstances.
Okay. I admit that since you have, as the city fathers, you have failed to manage solid and liquid waste.
We have had serious challenges in managing the solid
Have you
waste.
succeeded or you failed to manage?
We have partially succeeded. We are not at the stage where we want to be, or where we think a city of comparable status as the city of Harare should be.
How many
Just hold on. When you say you have partially succeeded, by deduction you also mean to say that you have partially failed.
Yes. We have partially failed. Well, I could get an opportunity to explain, but I was trying to follow the sequence of the questions.
I accurately answered.
What do you mean by you have partially succeeded? Because the taps, the illegal taps, they are all of.
Yes,
They are very visible people. Those that are resorting to actually banning those taps.
okay, we have the waste management is in two parts. We've got the liquid waste and then the solid waste. The solid waste, we rely on compactors to move the solid waste, skip bins, and other equipment. We have a serious shortage of equipment. We require 60 compactors for the operation. I'm told by the experts, we only have about 20 operating on a good day, and in many days we have down to 12 operating. Then we need dumpsters or trucks. We need about 20. We only have about 10 or 3 operating to move those big dumps. Then we need fuel. The biggest management issue around collection of waste is fuel. You can have the equipment, but if you don't have the fuel, you cannot move. We have challenges in terms of the fuel. We do not get preferential treatment in terms of allocation of fuel. We have to buy it in US dollars as a council. We get our money in local currency. We have written to the Ministry of Finance for us to be put on the list of the preferred purchasers of fuel.
Okay, don't worry, we shall all come to those issues.
Okay, that's fine.
We shall all come to those issues. In fact, if I may refresh your memory, you are supposed to have 71 compactors.
Yes.
So this is what, not 60.
Not 60. Well, that's fine.
It's
60%.
only a sizable number are in operation.
Yes.
And that being the case, those which are in operation, they are insufficient for you to execute your mandate.
Yes.
So in other words, you are failing.
Yes.
Honest reviews.
Yes.
Thank you for that honest answer. Even now, we used to have tarred roads in our streets in the residential areas.
Yes.
Now they are no longer in existence. What is happening?
In 2009, a government promulgated an act which introduced ZINARA. ZINARA was supposed to manage the whole road network for the country. They came up with a formula that they said they worked out with the United Nations, which formula indicated that there were good roads in the urban centers and there were bad roads in the rural areas. So the vehicle licenses were then transferred from the city council and transferred to ZINARA. So as we speak, ZINARA is in charge of all the roads countrywide. The problem came, the initial few years, we as the city of Harare contribute the bulk of the vehicle licenses. In other words, there are more cars in Harare. We pay about $20. We used to pay $20 per car, but now people are paying $40 per car. We have a dispute as to the number of cars in Harare. Our own experts say there are 800,000 cars in Harare. ZINARA says there are only 200,000 cars in Harare. And all those collections go to ZINARA. We then get a remittance. For the past 6 years, when I've been the mayor, the remittance we get from ZINARA is of only $2 million per year to do the Harare roads. Now, for those who are in road construction, you'll understand that $2 million is just but a drop in the ocean in terms of road construction. So we have not been able to extract as much money as we can from ZINARA. My proposal would be we needed a fairer share of those resources. If we could get 50% of what Harare motorists pay to ZINARA, we would do the roads. It was then compounded by the introduction of toll gates. The toll gates, someone pays to get out of Harare, someone pays to get into Harare. But all that money goes to ZINARA. ZINARA also gets fuel levy in foreign currency. Most of the fuel is bought in Harare. We have gotten zero remittance in foreign currency from ZINARA, but most of the fuel is bought in Harare. Then there's the carbon levy, which deals with pollution, where we are supposed to measure the pollution of the air and to buy in terms of World Health Standards. That all goes to ZINARA and we get no remittance. So we have not got resources for road construction. The little road construction and repair maintenance that we have done is from remittances from city parking and that we have used for roads for the whole city, and also the 2 million that we get per year from ZINARA, and sometimes we have to take ratepayers' money to do critical road maintenance.
Okay, thank you for volunteering that information.
Okay.
We will still come to that. You know, you'll not run away from it.
No, I'm not running. I'm being as factual as possible.
Of the issue. And streetlights are not being repaired. Why? What is the problem?
We have another problem. Sometime in 1984.
Why are you not repairing streetlights?
I want to give you the background so that we can get to where I'm wanting us to get to. In 1994, ZESA was created. We used it to run our power station, which is the thermal power station at Harare. That was taken from Harare, from Bulawayo, without compensation. Now, what happened is that we need a lot of electricity as Harare. We use 34 megawatts to run Morton Jeffrey. We use 6 megawatts to do the street lighting and to give electricity to Mbare and the hostels. We then, when that ZESA was given our infrastructure, including the cable and about 1,900 buildings, I'm told, were given to ZESA. ZESA does not pay rentals. ZESA did not pay us royalties and did not compensate us for that infrastructure. What then happened is that they left us with the responsibility of taking care of streetlights. But there used to be what was called a streetlights levy. That streetlight levy was then converted to rural electrification levy. Now, we were left with the responsibility of putting streetlights, and immediately the day they took the power station, they gave us a bill. It's like someone taking your cows, and tomorrow morning you are buying the milk from those cows. So we then, and then the Harare residents purchase the most electricity outside industry. But there is a rural electrification levy that goes to electrify the rural areas, leaving the streets in Harare dark. Fortunately, Bulawayo refused to pay for electricity. So up to now, Bulawayo does not pay for electricity because of the dispute for its power station. Harare, for some reason, pays for the electricity. What then that has meant is that our electricity bill comes to about $3 million US per month. And ZESA has put prepaid water meters on those, on our functions. So we have not been able to then provide more streetlights to pay for the electricity that goes into those streetlights because the streetlight levy was taken. In the current budget, we are trying to reintroduce the streetlight levy as a levy on the Harare residents. And should the ministry agree with us, then we will be able to do the streetlights. I have written a letter, I wrote a letter to the chief executive of ZESA. Fortunately, he was the managing director when that decision to take our assets was made. And by the twist of fortune, he is back as the head of the chief executive. And I've asked them to correct the sins of their youth.
Okay. The issue is you have not managed to repair streetlights.
Yes, because because everything has been taken. You take our ability. Yeah.
Would I be wrong to suggest that you are failing to manage the affairs of the city of Harare because of financial mismanagement?
I have explained.
Is that not correct?
That's not correct.
I'm going to demonstrate that there is massive financial mismanagement.
Yes, there is massive financial mismanagement. Yes.
Now, just hold on, let's get this right. Let's not have a debate. Okay.
The reason why you are failing to manage the affairs of the city of Harare is because of massive financial mismanagement. And I'm going to demonstrate that to you.
By who?
Your duty is to answer this.
Yeah. You see,
You are a lawyer, you know that.
you are a witness.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yes, fine.
By the city of Harare, you agree?
Yes, there is financial
Thank
mismanagement.
you.
Fine. You agree that, just hold on. You agree that there's serious financial mismanagement by the city?
Yes, I will agree that there is serious financial mismanagement by certain individuals in the city.
The city of which you are a mayor.
Of which I am the mayor.
Fine.
Right.
Now, let me demonstrate this to you. In 2018, you were already a councillor within the city of Harare.
Which period?
From 2018.
I was only a councillor from the August of that, September of that month.
2018.
2018.
Thank you.
Just for 1 month. For 1 month.
There was an election in August, We were then sworn in September, and we started presiding over the affairs in October. We then have elections for the mayor, and then we started presiding over the affairs October, November, December.
So during that period, you were councillor for how many months?
In that period, I was a councillor for 3 months, and I was not the mayor.
Okay. Right. You are aware of the duties and the roles of the Auditor General.
Yes.
From the year 2017 to the year 2022, the Auditor General audited the books of accounts for the city of Harare. Do you admit that?
Yes.
I will take you through the findings of the Auditor General
Yes.
to confirm that there is rampant financial mismanagement
Yes.
within the city of Harare.
Yes.
There is no accountability at all. Do you admit in terms of financial management? I will demonstrate that.
There are areas where accountability is lacked.
Which areas?
The areas that you mentioned that were indicated by the Auditor General. There are other areas that we have pointed out as policymakers. One of the major areas that I would point out is the absence of an ERP, that is an enterprise resource package, and the chasing away of the enterprise resource package or ERP that was operating at that time, which was chased away in 2019 at the recommendation of management. And from that period, the City Council has not been able to produce audited accounts.
So you admit that the absence of functional ERP is a great challenge to the city of Harare.
Yes, the absence of an ERP has crippled because it is a management paradise. Because the ERP is the only tool that the Auditor General and even us, the councillors, can understand what is happening in finances. But however, management conspired to get rid of the ERP. So we don't know, and we cannot verify whatever information we are getting. Because when you don't have an ERP, what it means is that the books of accounts have to be done manually, and when they are being done manually, it also means that documentation, events can be changed and are very difficult to trace. Yeah.
So,
I have indicated that the ERP was chased away at the recommendation of management. It was chased away in 2019. Why I recall it most particularly is that I protested in the council meeting and with the mayor who was then to say that you do not, for all the areas that I've worked in and being a lawyer in private practice, I advised management, which was led by the town clerk, then Chisango, and the other officials, to say that you cannot summarily get rid of your accounts package just like that. So
because of that, you cannot even account for your human capital. Is that correct?
Your question is not
You cannot
clear.
even account for human capital, your financial status, because
okay, what we did is that the absence of an ERP disallows the accounting of the financials, because our ERP was restricted to the financials. What then happened is, for some reason, management refused to allow VIQ to manage, in particular, executive salaries. But for everyone else salaries below the executives, we use a package called Belina, so which is another ERP. So the Belina package manages from grade, I think from grade 4 going downwards, because our workforce is almost 10,000. So it manages those ones. But the executive bands were not put into any package completely. So what it does, they are not catered for by the system. Yeah.
That is a chaotic situation.
Yes.
Is that good governance?
It's not.
Thank you. Now, according to the auditor's report in 2019, in fact, financial statements for a number of business units were not made available.
Yes.
We are discussing about the year 2019.
Yes.
For instance, Sunshine Holdings,
Yes.
there were no consolidated financial statements.
Yes.
And this is actually in contravention of the Public Finance Management Act. Do you admit?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you also admit that, as per the observation of the Auditor General, that in fact the Council does not have a consolidated asset register, except for the sector asset register, which was being maintained on its Excel spreadsheet and had non-adequate access control? Do you admit that?
Yes.
You are happy about that situation?
No, I'm not happy. But remember, this is the 2019 audit. It was auditing events that were happening in 2018.
We are going through the years.
We received that audit, and then when I became mayor, I started correcting or started pushing the council to correct the things in that audit. So that was the situation prevailing from the previous years. So if you look at the actions that I have taken with the councils that I have managed, I have been trying to go point by point the issues around what was raised by the Auditor General. So if you look at our business units then and our business units now, you will see the steps that we have taken. And I can chronicle the steps in summary that we have taken for each business unit.
No, we shall come to that earlier.
Okay.
In fact, according to that report, in fact, even the Finance and Audit Committee members lacked even financial experience.
Yes.
And this is the situation with the committees that we have. We had evidence from the committee which we appointed. In fact, they lacked financial experience as well.
I do not appoint committees. What happens is that the Urban Councils Act has got a procedure where people elect themselves. The problem with politicians, I know this is not a political, is that they believe they can do anything. Someone will volunteer to chair a finance committee and persuade the councillors to vote him in. We have, however, taken steps to ask the councillors to bring their CVs, to bring, and we have given direction within what we believe is the law from the Chamber Secretary's office to say that if you don't have a financial qualification, you cannot chair a committee. But
are you not the one who is responsible for appointing these committees? Because we have evidence that you are taking a leading role in the appointment of these committees.
No,
Just two questions there, separate.
Are you not the one who is responsible for appointing this?
I'm not the one who is responsible.
Be honest.
I'm being honest. What happens is that the procedure is this. The councillors indicate where they want to come. Previously, the appointment will be done, a party as a caucus, akin like to parliament. So a party will give a direction to say,
No. Let's just get this right. The question is, are you not the one who is appointing chairpersons or committees?
no, we don't. Let me explain the process.
No, without explanation. Are you not the one who is doing that?
No, you go to council with a list of
No, are you not the one who is doing that? Who is appointing committees?
I'm not the one who appoints it. It is I give an indication of.
Mr. Mafu,
Yes, Judge.
you understand questions very, very well.
Yes.
I expect you to answer the question asked of you by the evidence leader. If there is any need for an explanation, we will ask you to do so.
Okay.
The question is very straightforward. Do you appoint committee members or not?
Yes, Judge. The answer would be yes. I appoint committee members.
do?
Yes, through the council.
Thank you.
Okay.
So why were you taking so long to answer that question? You are a lawyer. You know how to answer questions.
Well, I was trying to give an explanation as to how I come up with the list and what happens leading to the list becoming valid.
Let me just follow up and clarify before Mr. Gosa comes in. You admit that you appoint committee members?
Yes.
Fine. But in terms of the act you referred to earlier on, it is not the mayor who does that.
Who does?
Who appoints?
In terms of the act,
Yes. Did you say something to that effect?
I didn't say anything to that effect. I didn't say something to that effect.
Are you empowered in terms of any statutes to appoint committees as a mayor?
There is a lacuna there in terms of, because it doesn't specifically, from my reading, or I've not been brought to my attention any particular thing, and I can understand why there's a gap there. Because when there's voting that happens, the councillors just come generally. So what the mayor...
No, I understand what the mayor does, but the question is, as asked by Mr. Kosi, maybe put it again, Mr. Kosi. Let's be fair on him.
Okay.
Are you not responsible for appointing these committees?
I do appoint the committees through council.
Not through council, through yourself. You as the mayor, as Jacob Mafun,
Yes.
you appoint those committee members.
Yes, I appoint the committees.
Why is it taking so long for you to answer such a simple question? Why? Do you have anything to hide?
No, there's nothing to that.
Just one. Do you are you empowered in law, or do you have a right to appoint committees?
It's a difficult question. There is no provision.
Let me make it simple. I want you to do it in what language?
There is no specific provision empowering the mayor to appoint a committee.
So there is no law which empowers the mayor to do so. If there is no provision, then there is no law.
Yes, there's no law.
All right, fine.
Okay.
Good. So you are appointing it de facto.
That's the practice we found at the council. The practice was that there are, a council is a number of committees. There is then a process of the councillors indicating which committees that they want to go into.
Okay.
Once they indicate that, it is brought to the mayor's office to say that we have indicated, so and so says I want this committee. Then they ask the mayor to then allocate, firstly according to preferences, so that at least you set the number of people that are going to be in each committee, depending on the number of councillors that are there. So, for instance, when we were 46, we would say each councillor should be in 2 committees.
Yes, no, fine. The explanation I understand, but my question was very simple, and I got the answer.
Yes.
That there is no legislation.
There is no it's just a practice that every council, the mayor gets the indication of where people want to be, and then the mayor then each person chooses 3 or 4.
Yeah.
We allocate according to number. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Do you reshuffle these committees?
The Act says we reshuffle them. We may reshuffle them once a year, every August.
Is it not after the election that you are supposed to set up these committees?
Yeah, you set them up. After an election, there's a provision of setting a committee after an election. Then there is a provision that allows you to reshuffle the committees. From my reading, annually, every year in August.
Because we have evidence that in fact you reshuffle these committees as in when you need and to your own benefit.
No, the reshuffle occurs. Unfortunately, we have had an occurrence of by-elections. Now, whenever there is a by-election, you then are asked you then have to reconstitute the committees. So we have had a very tumultuous period over the past 5 to 6 years, where at one point the council lost 22 councillors in one go. After the elections again, we lost a number of councillors in one go. Now, when you lose councillors or there's a by-election, you are then required to do the process again. And when the numbers are so big to alter the compositions of the committee, you then have to do the reshuffles.
Yeah. Mr. Mafum. Yes, earlier on, right from the start, I deliberately requested you not to treat this as a rally.
Yes, Judge.
Or a political meeting.
Yes, Judge.
You are a lawyer practiced. All we want is certain short answers to what is being asked of you.
Okay.
If there's a need for any explanation or elaboration, we will find time to be educated about the procedures.
No, I don't change committees.
Like I said to you, you will not run away from it. You are about to reshuffle the committees again.
Just answer the question.
Is it today?
You see, let us not put some intimidating and threatening questions about what you are likely to do or about it. He has no intention of running away. Let's just ask questions. Let's go on. If it takes another day or so, but you should not be threatened about the time that you are not going to sit. You're going to sit there forever. No. No. Just got the question. Your question is, the question is, Ian, there is.
Yes.
He believes, I don't know where from, that there's going to be a reshuffle very soon.
Yes, there is a reshuffle. That is.
No, there is a reshuffle. Okay, that's fine.
What is the reason behind that reshuffle again?
When we did the committees the last time, we had not had we had not had by-elections, and then we had put a resolution. It is good practice to rotate the committees. So there was a resolution that we rotate the committees in August. Then some of the committees had more numbers than others. Others had 27, others...
So the reason for reshuffle is because we want to rotate.
Yes.
Yes, fine.
Yeah, we want to rotate.
Yes, fine. No, that's all right. Okay, thank you.
To those issues, worship. Right? Now, would I be wrong to suggest to you that the reason why we are having financial problems within the city of Harare is that the council is relying on ratepayers' money only?
Yes. In the main, yes.
You are well aware that in fact, ratepayers' money should, in fact, salaries should not take more than 30% of ratepayers' money.
Yes.
And they are chewing up to over 55%.
Yes. If it's not
Is
higher.
that proper?
It's not proper.
So you said it's higher.
My own understanding of the situation is that it could probably be higher.
By higher by how much?
It should creep towards 60% or percentage or thereabouts. Because our budget is...
So it's double that.
Yeah, because our budgets, when we give them, they have some certain assumptions which then do not come to fruition.
So who paid 30%?
The 30% is an administrative peg by the ministry.
No, just hold on. So it's an administrative issue.
The percentage is a percentile pegged by the ministry, or that is common good business practice.
So when you now go to 60, is it legal?
It's not legal.
Or rather, I want to be mild, is it wrong? It is wrong.
It is wrong, yeah. Probably.
If it is wrong, then it's unlawful.
Well, it is wrong. It might not necessarily be unlawful, but it is wrong.
Bad practice.
Yeah, bad practice.
Bad practice is unlawful. Where there's a guidance, it's unlawful.
The way there's a guidance, then bad practices are unlawful.
Yes, fine. Thank you very much.
Because of that bad practice, very little money will be left for service delivery.
Yes.
And this is why we are having all these challenges in the city of Harare.
Yes.
Right. Do you accept that, in fact, Harare City has some business units or special purpose vehicles which are actually cash cows for the city of Harare, which were privatized and are 100% owned by the city of Harare?
Yes.
Thank you. And these are Harare Marketing,
Yes.
City Parking,
Yes.
Harare,
Yes.
Sunshine Holdings.
Yes. Though those ones are not 100. That is not 100. The question said they are 100% owned. Sunshine what?
Holdings.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Mabazua.
Mabazua is some weird attempt at a private-public partnership.
What is it if it's weird? What do you call it?
We inherited this arrangement, which were supposed to be, as they were defined then, they were done in 2009 by the then council. So they were attempting to do a public-private partnership. But for some reason, the negotiators for council would give. So Mabazua was our lodges, our guest lodges. So they would give this investor, so-called, 70% on the get-go, and they remain with 30%. So more often than not, after giving this so-called investor the property or custody of the property, the investor would not invest anything and will start taking rentals and not remitting anything to the city council. And for instance, Mabazua, Ken Mbaiwa put himself and his daughter as the directors, and there were no directors from council, and said that it is.
Yes.
So it's some weird.
Is it still in existence?
Sunshine Meat was another crazy idea that was introduced in 2009. Someone thought that because we had a lot of cows, we can therefore add value by killing those cows and selling them. What then happened is that from the get-go, they quarreled over the first few cows they killed. So a few cows were killed, they bought fridges and some things. Then after the first cows, the whole thing collapsed over where did the money go. So it just was abandoned.
Okay, maybe we'll try to discuss each of those business units one by one.
Okay.
Let us start with the farmer marketing. So far, deriving any benefit from the farmer marketing?
Now it is, benefits are trickling in. What happened is that...
No, it's all right.
Is it driving any... Okay, let me rephrase my question. Is it driving any meaningful benefits?
Yeah, at the moment we are now beginning to get some meaningful benefit from the farmer market.
So the answer is yes.
Yes.
What benefits? Can you clarify?
Benefits, I understand from the records that I have and that have been reported through the business committee, there has been some remittances to the city council in 2023 and 2024 in terms of cash. They also assisted.
How much was remitted?
I'm told that in 2023, 30,000 or so. I have the figures in my.
In 2024?
In 2024, it should have been the direct cash remittance should be around 24,000.
2024. The whole of 2024.
The whole of 2024.
We had evidence that in fact the farm market has a capacity to generate even over $500 US per year.
You mean 500,000?
No.
Yes, 500,000 per year.
Yes, it has the potential to do so.
But you talk of a remittance of 24,000.
Yeah, it then assisted in some of the.
Person?
Yes, it's the potential, not the actual. It has the potential to do so if certain structural adjustments are made.
You are at the helm of farm marketing, and I'm going to prove that.
I'm at the helm of
Yes,
farm marketing.
yes.
Okay.
I'm going to prove that to you.
Okay.
Would I be wrong to say that in fact there is also massive financial mismanagement within the farm marketing? Money is being channeled to individuals' pockets, to councillors.
If that is so, then those who are receiving the money should answer for their malfeasance.
No, the questions are you aware of?
Are you aware of that?
I'm aware of what used to happen in the years before we started reforming the farm market.
Even after.
Okay, all right, no, just one. You are aware of that. What is that you are aware of?
What had happened when we came into council in 2019, we had the anecdotal issues that we used to own a brewery, we used to own over 100 beer outlets. We then set up a commission to find out what the situation was, and I was part of that commission, and it was chaired by Councillor Ian Makoni. Our findings were that indeed City Council owned Rufaro Corner, which is being leased by Delta. We then discovered that we had over 120 odd business units scattered around the town, and there were no remittances that were coming from that. In fact, they were now selling off the the Rufaro Corner, which is our brewery. And an agreement had already been done to sell it off. We stopped the selling off of the brewery, and we recommended that a new lease be done between Council and ourselves, and then we started the process of recovering the other beer halls from the various influential people that had taken rentals of the beer halls. So that's the process we are engaged in now.
No. I will put it to you that in fact, these council beer halls, formerly properties, they are being leased by councillors. Let's talk of hunters in Mafuka.
But do you know that?
Yes, I became aware of that.
No, not when you became aware. Are you aware?
As I'm aware that hunters was...
Apart from hunters, hunters is an example. Are you aware that councillors are leasing these properties?
Formerly properties.
If there is a councillor,
No.
I'm not aware of any councillor beyond the one that was revealed at Hunters. I say so because I have expressly asked councillors to declare.
So you only know one councillor?
At the present moment, I know one councillor that was was linked to Hunters Bar.
When did you become aware of that?
The Hunters Bar, I became aware of it. Initially, we were told before that Mr. Nyakujga was connected to Hunters.
When did you become aware of that?
In 2024, early 2024.
After the commission started?
I'm not sure when the commission started.
May.
That is
Around May.
Around May. Yeah, I think that is almost the same time that we became aware.
How did you become aware?
Well, it was publicized that Minister Nyakujga or Councillor Nyakujga was leasing.
Is he still a councillor?
He is still a councillor.
Let me take on that point first before you come in. What was your reaction?
My reaction is that I called him to explain himself. We called him to the...
Yes, what did he say?
He
admit or deny?
No, he didn't deny. It was very clear. He said...
Did he admit?
Yes, he admitted in my presence. He said, yes, I was connected and I admitted. I said, but you did not disclose to us as council that you ought to have disclosed to us. He then said he had the bar before he became councillor. Then I said, but once you have become a councillor, it's untenable for you to be leasing the property in the manner that you are doing unless you had declared your interest, and the Act says you declare your interest. It is then put to council that the fellow councillor is interested in leasing this particular property, and at that term. And during the discussion of that item, you recuse yourself and other councillors discuss. That is the circumstances.
In other words, you were expressing your displeasure.
I was expressing my displeasure.
Did you tell him about it? Did you make him know that?
Yes, he's well aware. We spoke. I actually summoned him to my office and said, look, you have embarrassed the council. You have embarrassed your constituents. You have put yourself in an invidious position.
What did you do about that? What have you done about that?
He then indicated to me that he has withdrawn from, he has surrendered the lease.
No. What have you done about that offense?
I have no powers to discipline a fellow councillor.
Who is?
The ministry through because it's a constitutional provision.
Did you formally make a complaint to the ministry?
No, at this present stage, I've not
Are
formally.
you not supposed to have done that? To express your displeasure?
To express my displeasure, again, there is no provision that says I'm able to do that. We discussed it with the chamber secretary.
If there's no provision for making that report, was there provision for you to carry out the inquiry which you did about the Hunter's Bar?
No, there was no provision, but I thought it was prudent for me to ask him and also to get it from.
Did you caution him?
Yes, I did caution him. That's why.
How did you caution him?
I explained to him.
Did you do it formally in writing or
it was verbal. I said that he must withdraw from that list, surrender it to Harare Marketing, and that he ought, and then explained to him the procedures that are to be followed. And I did then in full council, probably. I then did explain to all the councillors that if you are wanting to purchase, wanting to lease, wanting to do business with the council in any manner or form, it is allowed. What you have to do is to declare your interest.
Okay, no, that's fine. Thank you very much.
This is actually the position with all the Harare Marketing properties.
If that's the case, then the person any person we find doing that must fail.
Councillor Nyakuja is still in charge of Underspa.
I'm not aware of that.
Now, have you ever told this former council house?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Yes, I
Have
have.
you heard about the state of affairs?
No,
Why are you not happy?
they were grabbed from council for years. Most of these,
No, state of affairs.
they are dilapidated. The bulk of them are in disuse. There are all sorts of activities are happening that some are not related to good government practices.
Right, I think at this juncture we have to take a healthy break.
Thank you.
Strictly for 20 minutes. Break. What time is it? 20 minutes will give us what? Let's get it official from you.
Okay, perhaps 5 past.
Yes, fine, thank you.
5 past 11.
Yes, fine. We're breaking now up to 11:05. Thank you very much.
State of dilapidation.
Yes,
A very bad state of dilapidation.
yes, except for Faro Corner, which is being managed by Castle, which is being managed by Delta. That one is the best.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Even those who are leasing the properties, including Council Nakujga, they are actually subletting, actually destroying the perimeter walls, converting those perimeter walls into tuck shops.
Yes.
Yes.
The exception is only Rufaro Corner, which is managed by Delta.
Okay.
It's called Councillor Nyakuja.
Yes. From others.
Okay, yeah, fine. Right, another question?
We now have a situation of tuck shops all over. This is the situation obtaining all over Harare.
Yes, the bulk are in that state.
Yes.
So, what benefit is council deriving from that? In fact, council properties being destroyed. We have over 91, maybe Harare Marketing properties which are in that state.
Yes.
Is council benefiting from that state of affairs?
No, council is not benefiting
Yes,
from
fine, thank you.
that state of affairs.
Okay. That being the case, is it not, do you admit that that is actually another revenue loss, which money would have been diverted towards other service delivery? For
Yes,
this so far?
that's a lot.
Correct.
That's correct. That is why we are correcting it. That's why we instituted processes to correct that.
Right, fine, yes.
Would I be wrong to suggest that in fact the city of Harare do have some other properties which are not part of Harare Marketing?
Yes, it is the biggest property owner after government.
Thank you. And that those properties are being run properly by the council.
They are not being run properly. The absence of an ERP that I mentioned earlier. We need a software to manage the various leases that and properties that are owned by council. And there was a deliberate effort from management not to put these properties of council into a system package. It's a very simple package. Companies like Old Mutual and all real estate companies use it. There is no reason why the properties we have, because we have the only institution that has more properties than the City Council of Harare is the government.
In other words, is it not prudent to actually liquidate the Harare Marketing and actually transfer the properties to Harare City Council?
Where there is no ERP, where there is no system. You see, the prudence is not prudent.
Why?
One, its biggest brewery is being properly managed by under Delta. When you liquidate a company, you are saying that, oh, there's a new...
No, this company is owned 100% by council. They are not raising any benefit. Why not transfer it back to the city of Harare?
You reform the company. You cannot transfer it to where there is equal chaos. Because if you transfer it without the reform, there are more properties that are supposed to be managed by the city of Harare that are disappearing and that are not being managed well. So we need to...
There are properties which are disappearing from the city of Harare.
Yes. That is why people...
Right, just hold on. When did you become mayor? Previous?
This time around.
No, previous.
2020.
To 2023?
Yes, to 2023.
Right. And at the time, there was already chaos?
Yes, at the time there was already chaos.
Right, fine. What did you do about the chaos?
At the time, my relations with my parent ministry were not that very good.
Right, just hold on. So you did nothing?
Yes, because I was...
For whatever reason, you did nothing?
No, we didn't do nothing. We set up a commission. Immediately, when I became mayor, I set up the commission to look into the affairs of Harare Marketing.
And what happened to the commission?
We are implementing the recommendations of that commission. At the time...
Hold on. Did you do anything towards the reformation?
Yes.
What is it that you did?
What we did was, firstly, was to ascertain the status of the property. So now we know the number of bars that council owns and that the ones that it lost.
From 2020?
From 2020
to now, you still don't know the situation?
No, now we know. Now we know the number.
Did it have to take you 4 years to ascertain what the position is?
It didn't take us 4 years. The commission was done in a period of 3 months. And
what year?
That was in 2020.
Right, fine.
Right.
Hold on. 2020, the commission was set up. Did they give you the results of the inquiry?
The results of the inquiry was
given.
You
kept the results?
No, they were read in full council.
Right, fine.
Now,
your knowledge, you know what was supposed to be done.
Yes.
Right. From that period up to 2023, year 21, year 22, did you do anything positive towards the reformation, as you said now?
You could recall, Judge, that period there was COVID, so everything shut down.
No, answer the question.
Yes, nothing was.
Did you do anything positive towards the reformation?
Yes, we did. We did something positive.
What is that?
We appointed a board. We then tried to get that board to then reform.
Did you succeed in the reformation?
We are succeeding.
Did you reform at the time before you were sworn in 2024? Did you succeed in reformation?
Before I was sworn in 2024, we did not succeed.
Good. Yeah, fine. Next question.
Okay. Put it to you that in fact you have an interest in the farm market. You have a personal interest in the farm market.
Is it personal and financial?
Personal interest.
Or what is it? Personal interest.
Yes.
Do you have personal interest?
No.
No. Fine.
And I'm going to demonstrate that to you. That you have a personal interest in the farm market yourself. That's why you wouldn't want the farm marketing to be transferred to the city of Harare. All the other witnesses who gave evidence, the town clerk, even the advisor to the assistant, the executive assistant to the town clerk, they all agreed that it is prudent for the farm marketing to be transferred back to city council, except you are the only one who is actually refusing that suggestion.
Are those two prudent individuals?
Yes, I'm not going to answer your questions. You see, I can tell by the way you've answered that you have an interest in the affairs of the farm market, a personal interest.
No, I don't have.
In fact, if you go by even when did you appoint the board for farm marketing?
The board for farm marketing was appointed sometime in 2023. Yeah, thereabouts.
You appointed it yourself?
It is appointed by the town clerk.
No. The town clerk did not appoint that board. You appointed it yourself. Is that not correct?
The appointment,
Be honest.
yes, the appointment letters for all the boards are done by the town clerk. They are appointed by the town clerk.
Yes, but you did appoint the board.
No.
Who are the board members?
For
Tell us.
for which company?
For farm marketing. What discussing
For farm marketing, there is Mr. Harrison Gomo, Juma Olete, Ngoni Chimbalu, Warren Chihuahua, is the chamber secretary. And then there's one who I'm told resigned, and another elderly gentleman, I forget his name.
Okay. Something fish about that body. All board members are linked to the part called CCC. Is that correct?
No.
Why do you say no?
Warren Chihuahua is the chamber secretary.
Yes.
And Ngoni Chimbalu is, from my recollection, has never been a member of CCC.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yes.
There's evidence on record.
No.
Before this commission.
You said all. Harrison Gomo is
Okay,
a practicing lawyer who has not, to my recollection, joined any political party.
So how many board members are there?
It has. It should have 6 board members at the time that they were appointed. I'm made to understand one then resigned when he became an honorable member of parliament.
So when you had 6, how many of them belong to CCC?
When we had 6, the only one who belonged to CCC or who then became a candidate was the one who became an MP and then resigned.
But what is his name?
I heard it, but it's a
All right, fine. Can you itemize the 6 of them?
itemized in terms of their
Yes, the names. Yeah.
the names. Yes, we've got Harrison Gomo. We've got what did I say? Juma Olete. We've got Ngoni Chimbalu. We've got Warren Chihuahua. We've got the 2 whose names has escaped me. The one who then resigned when he became an honorable member of parliament, and this elderly gentleman is in real estate, but I'm not. His name doesn't spring to mind.
Okay. Confirm that Juma, Hassan Gomo is the lawyer for CCC.
There's no such thing. as a lawyer for Triple C.
It is common cause that he always represents Triple C members.
Always.
Yes. That is on record.
That's not how lawyers work. He has represented ZANU-PF members, he has represented police, he has represented...
Other person is put in.
Okay.
They are not irritating me.
Right, fine. Put it this way. A lawyer represents another person, that's right?
Yes.
Amongst his esteemed clients, has he ever represented Triple C?
He might have represented individuals.
No, answer the question.
No, not to my knowledge. He's not represented Triple C as an organization.
He has represented Triple C members?
Yes, Triple C members in their individual capacities, but he, to my knowledge, he never was the lawyer of record of Triple C.
I wanted that to be clear.
Juma Ulete is a strong member of Triple C, and he's responsible for fundraising. Funds for Triple C.
Don't lead him to that. Let's first find out whether he is or not before fundraising.
Okay.
Juma Ulete, is he a member of Triple C?
Is he a member of Triple C?
To your knowledge.
He is not a member of Triple C.
But evidence we have on record is that he is a member of Triple C. Why do you deny that?
He's not a member of Triple C. To my knowledge, he's not a member of Triple C. He might support.
You are now being an economic with the truth. You took an oath.
Yes, I'm being as
accurate.
accurate.
Chimbalu is a non-Triple C.
Ngoni Chimbalo?
Yes.
No. Ngoni Chimbalo never associated. He might have been associated with the parties previously, but when it became Triple C, Ngoni Chimbalo was never near Triple C. Never.
Oh, okay. Maybe let's put it this way. Instead of Triple C, because it's a reborn and a born again political party from MDC. Were they associated with the opposition?
Previously. Yes, Ngoni might have been associated. Yes, he was
That's why
associated.
to get it. Then.
Okay, yeah, Ngoni was, but when it comes to Triple C, he never, he left a long time ago.
And did he join Chama? Did he join Chama?
Not to my knowledge.
See, what you are trying to, what is trying to get at is whether or not these two belonged to the opposition, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, fine.
but Ngoni, no.
And Chihuahua is your friend.
What do you mean?
The labor sector is your friend, isn't it?
He's a colleague. He works for me. We are generations apart. He graduated law school years after me.
No, is he your friend or not?
No, he's not my friend.
This is the evidence that we had yesterday. That even when you are going for meetings, you always move in one vehicle. That other vehicle will just be unoccupied with just a driver. His own vehicle. You will be together.
He's
Always.
Is it true or false?
Is it true or
It's
not?
false. He's a man. Chihuahua. It's not my friend. I don't move him in the same car with him all the time. It's what I don't know. He's not.
And he is your man. He never opposes you in council meetings. Is that not correct?
He never opposes.
Yes.
He does not.
Whatever you say is what he is going to do or what he does.
No.
That is everything that we had in this commission yesterday.
No, he does. That's not how council operates. He's not a councillor. He is not supposed to oppose.
Just to demonstrate your interest in farm marketing, you had a meeting with some with board members.
Yes.
At the business unit pertaining to farm marketing.
Yes.
You go that meeting.
Yes.
CC, one CC was in attendance.
Yes. She's the business manager.
Do you recall asking about the business operations of farm marketing.
Yes, she does.
What happened to that meeting?
She asked about the business unit and the operations, the normal things that she asks in the duty, and certain allegations were being raised against the individuals. Tempers fled in the meeting. Yeah.
Okay. What was the source of the temper?
Well, when we were trying to reform referral marketing, you must understand it had been occupied.
What was the source of that?
Yeah, I'm getting to the source.
Let's go straight to the point.
Yeah, it had been occupied by violent individuals that were trying to beat up the board members that were deployed, or the guys who were trying to retrieve the thing, and they indeed did beat up the chambers, not the chamber secretary, the company secretary that had been employed, who is a lawyer, and he resigned after being beaten up. I've forgotten his name, but I'll get it to you. Not Obesha. The Obesha was an additional incident. The first one was a rather young lawyer who went to, because the headquarters of referral marketing is in Bari. So when they asked for rentals from the occupiers of the property, instead of bringing rentals, they came and beat up this young lawyer, and then he promptly resigned, and the other board members had to run away. So in trying to...
So is it evident that in fact councils associated with the violence?
Operations of council in Mbari, there will be violence. Even the new market that we are putting, the engineers that were doing measurements of the ground to say this is the market we are going to give the people of Mbari were beaten last week, and their measurements tools were broken. So the interface of our services with the public, particularly markets, particularly referral, even traffic wardens, they get beaten.
Then you maybe we'll get to the bottom of that. We are still talking about the there were chambers.
Yeah.
So for why would there be chambers? There was yourself, some councillors, the referral marketing board in the city.
There was.
Why could there be?
Well, it's a pressure environment. People are asking for certain things. Workers are being beaten. The company secretary had been beaten, and some of the people were feeling. Yes, you are asking me why people would get their tempers.
That's all wrong. We are referring to the meeting, this business meeting, which was attended to by ZESA. Pindo.
Yes, it is the one.
Tell us more about that meeting.
Yes.
Who was present?
The people who were present were the business unit, ZESA, the chamber secretary, I think, Ngoni, Chimbalu, Juma Olete, and myself.
So, I guess there wasn't supposed to be any altercation if we go by the people who were in attendance.
Yes, I mean...
why was there some altercations?
They had misunderstandings, which if I were at the root or at the end of those misunderstandings, would not have got my emotions up. And
is it not correct that in fact ZESA Mapundo asked the referral marketing board to table the financial performance of referral marketing, and she was told to actually put a heads off with Harare Marketing properties. Is that not correct? Is that not correct?
Okay. You know,
Is that
if a person, if I'm a lawyer, if I were to say I'm handling dangerous cases and I have to move with a firearm to protect myself, I do not necessarily think that that is out of place and that it is not believable. And we are talking about Rufaro Marketing here. The bars are occupied by some of the most dangerous people in town. And even our markets people, our municipal police, and even other people who do certain operations, they have to move with those things.
Other messages put you, we want you.
But
I will put it to you that was not the issue. The only thing which happened is that Juma actually threatened CC with that pistol.
Oh, no, not threatened. They mentioned the
So why would they actually complain to you? You did not offer any protection. Is that not correct?
No, I spoke to her in that meeting. I'm sure if she is speaking truthfully, I reduced.
Which is in charge of the affairs of the business unit. His house at the mayor's mansion. There are 2 officers' house there to manage the business units. Is that not correct?
I don't live there. It is
No
not.
other person.
No,
Where is his house?
it is at the mayoral mansion.
So I'm correct, isn't it?
There are a number of offices housed at the mayoral mansion because I don't live there. I've never lived there. The mayoral mansion was converted